Let's will start our second session. So before that, we'll quickly revise what we finished in last session. So in last session, we started with the discharging. Okay, discharging of the. Okay. So discharging through the gases. Then we discussed about the properties of the cathodes. And the same way, emission of electron, types of emission, thermionic emission, field emission, and photoelectric emission. So then later we discuss about the photoelectric emission. So what is photoelectric emission and some properties, who discovered, Hertz observed that one, and then what we discussed a few topics regarding it. Okay. Then after we discussed some parameters which we are seeing that are important definition in that photoelectric effect. So like work function, threshold frequency, and threshold wavelength. So these are we finished in last class. Let's today's session will start with the one more parameter, that is stopping potential. Okay, what is stopping potential? So how stopping potential stopping will depend upon other parameters. We'll discuss. Okay. So before the stopping potential, we'll go through the one experiment. So like discharging tube. So it's an experimental observation. Okay. So experimental observation of photoelectric effect. During that, we are using one vacuum tube, so which consists of the cathode and anode. Okay, when the light illuminated on the cathode, so the cathode will eject the electrons. Okay, so the electrons are collected by the anode through one external circuit which is used to measure the photocurrent. Okay, so before discussing of stopping potential, so these are fourth parameter which we left in last class. Okay, so I'm taking one discharging tube. Is one cathode. This is just one window which consists of the transparent glass. And this is anode, I am indicating with A, and this is cathode, indicating with C. So completely this setup is in a vacuum chamber. And this cathode anode connected to an external circuit to the battery. So cathode connected to positive terminal, anode connected to negative. Cathode connected to negative terminal, anode connected to positive terminal of the battery. And we are using some micro ammeter. You know that ammeter we are using to measure the current, photocurrent here. So small amount of photocurrent will come. So this is small experimental observation. So what happens? So this cathode plate is made up of alkali metal. So already we discussed photoelectric wave. This is normal visible light. Okay. So when the normal visible light falls on the alkali metals, so sodium, potassium, cesium. Okay. So these element alkali metals, when it falls on the alkali metals, so immediately the electrons are ejecting from the surface. That already we know that. The same way, in presence of UV light, the UV light falls on like zinc plates. Okay. So zinc plate, and the zinc plate will shows the eject the electron, so that we can observe the photoelectric effect in that case of UV light as well as visible light. Okay. Now, so there is a light, visible light. Okay. The light falls on the cathode plate already, which is negatively charged. Okay. So when the light falls on it, that energy, already we discussed about photoelectric emission. When the light of some energy falls on the metal plate, so few amount of that energy of light is observed by the metal, which is used to eject the electron, that we call as work function. So the electrons are ejecting from the cathode plate. So just I am giving the symbol, only one electron here. More number of electrons emitting for every second when the light falls on the cathode plate. Okay, so these electrons are negatively charged, as we know. So these negatively charged and here positively anodes connected to positive terminal. So these electrons are attracted towards anode plate because of its positive charge. When the electron incident on the anode plate, the circuit will close. So we can easily measure the photocurrent here. So we can mainly measure the photo current by using a microammeter. So the electron ejecting due to the incident of light on a cathode plate, the electrons are travels towards the anode plate because of positive charge and it is passing through a circuit, then we can measure the photo current. Okay, a photo current because of light energy. Okay, light energy converted to electric energy. Now let's discuss stopping potential. Here anode initially it is connected to positive terminal, so the anode has a positive potential. It is connected to negative potential. So we know that electrons are negatively charged always towards moves towards the positive charges. Okay. Now, so let us assume there is some X amount of positive charge connected to anode plate. Now I am reducing that positive charge or positive potential. Let us assume just I will take that for example. This is 30 volts. This is only example. So 30 volts. So if you take it, so this is minus 30 volts and this is 0 volts. Let us assume. Okay. That means the potential difference between this is 30 volts. So 0 is what positive and minus 30 is a negative potential. Now what I am doing, I am reducing the positive potential on the anode plate. Reducing of positive potential is nothing but increasing of negativity. Okay. So that's why. So if you take it, so initially it is a positive charge, positive potential and negative potential. And by reducing of positive potential and anode plate, what happens? The attracting nature of electrons, okay, of anode will reduces because the positive charge or positive potential is reducing. Okay. So what happens by giving up? How to reduce a positive potential? By giving up some negative potential. Okay. So by increasing of, okay, or reducing of positive potential or increasing of negative potential. Okay, understand? So what is it? So by decreasing of positive potential or by increasing of negative potential of an anode plate. Okay. So what happens? These electrons will, okay, on increasing of negative potential, what happens? These electrons are repelled. Okay. So will repel because of this negative potential. Okay. As increasing of negative potential at particular potential of anode plate, that let us assume V naught. At particular potential, let 0 volts essentially is minus 30, 0. So minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4 volts like that. By increasing of negative potential or reducing of positive potential. So at particular negative potential of an anode plate, so the no electrons will reach the anode. Why? Because this negative potential will repulse the electrons, so no electron reaches the anode plate. So as no electron reaches the anode plate, no circuit will not allow any electrons passing through it. Okay, ammeter. So that means ammeter will shows a zero reading. Ammeter shows the reading. Why? Because so we are applied the negative potential. This negative potential repels the electrons, so no electron will comes to passing through this anode plate or closes the circuit. So no electrons will start. So here ammeter used to count the how many electrons passing through per second. So no electrons are reaching. So the photoelectric current becomes here 0. Got it? No? So what here? By applying of anode potential. Here we are applying anode potential. So your anode potential will be negative. By applying of negative potential to the anode plate, the photoelectric current becomes 0, particular voltage. So now this is we call it stopping potential. Now definition of stopping potential, please note it. Definition of stopping potential. What is stopping potential? That's the fourth parameter we need to discuss. Okay. So what happens here? Electrons are not reaching because of negative potential. The negative potential applied to what? Which plate? Anode plate. Okay. So because of no electron reaching the anode, photoelectric current becomes 0. Got it? Now, these are the parts. Now, the stopping potential we can define as the negative potential applied to the anode plate where the photoelectric current becomes 0. Got it? The negative potential to the applied to the anode plate where the photoelectric current becomes 0. Okay. So that means at this stopping potential, no photoelectric current will not observe. No photoelectric current is passing through the circuit. Got it now? So where the photoelectric current becomes 0 at stopping potential, Where the stopping potential applied to which plate? Anode plate. Got it now? Just once I am revising.
Repeat it. Repeat the process.
Okay. So this is clear. Once again, I am discussing as once again see. So when the light incident on the cathode plate, okay, so electrons are ejecting from the cathode plate, that we know photoelectric effect. So these electrons are moving towards the anode because which has it positively charged or positive connected to positive potential. So when the electrons illuminated on the anode, so circuit will close. We can easily measure the photo current by using a micrometer. Okay. Now, so initially the anode has a positive potential. Now, by increasing of negative potential or reducing of positive potential. Okay. By increasing of negative potential to the anode, these electrons are repelled by this negative potential. So at particular potential, let's say V0, so no electron reaches the anode, so the ammeter gives the zero reading. That is, photoelectric current becomes zero by applying of negative potential. So that's it. So the definition of stopping potential is that the negative potential applied to the anode plate where the photo current becomes zero. Got it now? Stopping potential nothing but the negative potential applied to the anode plate where the photoelectric current becomes zero. So that is a parameter. Remember it. Okay. Why these electrons are not approaching the anode by applying of negative potential? So we'll discuss one point here. Okay, I'll remove this one.
So the notes and does
It's not notes, definition is. So it's a definition, just make a note of it. Okay. So why electrons are repelled? Okay, why electrons are not approaching the anode plate? Okay. See, in electronics we have one point. For example, there is a Q amount of charge. Q, charge we are measuring with the Q. So Q is the one charge. So when this charge is accelerating because of potential. Generally we know that current electricity. By applying our potential difference between the ends of any conductor. So electrons are moving from one point to other, higher potential. Current moves from high potential to low potential. Electrons are moving from negative, that is low potential to positive potential. So these electrons are moving, or that charged particles in a conductor is moving because of applying of some potential difference. Okay. So before applying the potential difference, that means the charged particles has a zero velocity. When you apply the potential difference, the charged particles are accelerating. Okay. So when the body at rest, that has zero energy. When the body is moving, it has kinetic energy. Okay, that is, it acquires some energy because of some external factor. Here that external factor is potential. Okay, when the charged particle, which has a charge Q, okay, accelerated by some potential, like this. When I apply the battery between the ends of any conductor, electrons are moving. Okay, so because of this potential difference, so Q charge is accelerating. That means it will get some energy. So that energy in terms of kinetic energy you can take. So that is the energy acquired by the Q charge due to the potential. We can say it as QV. So this also we call work done. So as we know that work done and energy almost equal. So the work done by the charge due to the potential difference V QV. So this term will comes in electronics, but better to remember it. When the Q amount of charge, okay, accelerating because of potential difference V. Okay, so the work done by the charge or the energy acquired by the charge is nothing but QV. Okay, now coming to our point. So as I said, it's a cathode, it's an anode. Just I am giving an example. So when I am giving some amount of light energy, so the electrons are ejecting from the cathode plate. So the electrons are accelerating between the cathode and anode. So there is a potential difference between this. The potential difference we given to this cathode and anode. Okay. So let us assume that. So a particular potential applied, that is particular negative potential applied to the anode plate, that is V0. What we call here V0 stopping potential. At the stopping potential, what happens? No electrons will reach the anode. At stopping potential, no electrons reaches the anode. Already we discussed about the stopping potential definition. No electron reaches. That means, so electrons has kinetic energy when it is ejecting from the cathode. So that kinetic energy, so the electrons coming towards the anode plate with some amount of energy. We need to stop that electrons. So to stop that electrons, we need to apply, that means the anode has to apply some opposite energy which is equals to the kinetic energy of electrons. So the energy acquired, okay, to stop the electron, okay, the energy acquired by the anode plate to stop the electron because of the stopping potential. Okay, let us assume the work done is nothing but what we said, Q into V. So the anode plate has to do the work against the electrons. Okay. So now the work done by the anode plate, that R hat potential. Okay. So on which charge we have to do the work? Electron. So the charge nothing but electron charge. This which is equals to 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19. That you know. And which potential we are applying to anode? Stopping potential. So this is what the work done on electrons which are ejecting from the cathode. Okay. So if this work done applies on the electrons due to anode, so no electrons will leave because same energy we are applying opposite. We are giving the opposite. So that's why no electrons will reaches the anode. So this work done at this situation, the work done by the anode on electrons, okay, photoelectrons, EV0. So this work done by the anode plate due to the stopping potential on electrons is equals to, so this work done is using to stop what? Electrons. Electrons are having which energy? Kinetic energy. So same amount of, that means the kinetic energy. So this work done is equals to kinetic energy. So kinetic energy of the electron. So okay. So kinetic energy. So let's kinetic energy of the molecule. Understand? The anode potential, what we applied our potential to anode, stopping potential. The stopping potential will do the work on the electron, how much? EV0. This work done on an electrons is equals to kinetic energy of electron. So let us assume just an example. So electrons are ejecting from the cathode ray, cathode plate with some amount of energy. Let us assume just 100 joules. It's not joule, just I am giving example. So from the cathode ray, so electrons are ejecting with 100 joules of energy. Joules we know because first year we studied about joules and everything. Electrons are ejecting, so 100 joules. That 100 joules of energy of electron in which form? Kinetic energy. So to stop that electron, how much of energy we need to apply against it? 100 joules of it. So that means how much of the anode is doing work on electrons is equals to how much of energy that electrons have. Got it? If 100 joules electrons, the kinetic energy of electrons is 100 joules, we need to apply the 100 joules of energy to stop that. So then only it will stop. If you apply less amount of energy, it will reach. If apply more amount, it's not possible. Just in case of stopping potential, if it's stopping potential, no electron will reaches the anode. Okay. So this remember is very important point. So EV0 is equals to kinetic energy of electrons. So it's an important relation. So note down. Once again I write it. EV0. E is the charge of electrons. V0 is the stopping potential. What is stopping potential? The negative potential applied to the anode plate is equals to kinetic energy of electrons. Kinetic energy of electrons. Okay. And the formula EV0 is equals to kinetic energy of mv square. So very important. Remember it. In competitive point of view, it's very useful equation. So EV0. So EV0 is equals to the maximum kinetic energy of electron. Here also we can take one more equation. So what is the maximum velocity of electron? Or what is the velocity of electron which are ejecting from the cathode? By using it. Okay. So from this equation we derive the equation for V. So what it comes? So if you take it to EV0, because here 2 in denominator, so it will comes to numerator. So m is in comes here denominator divided by root. So please make a note of it. So this is our relation. EV naught is equals to half mv square. Otherwise, EV naught is equals to kinetic energy of electrons which are ejecting from the metal plate or cathode plate. So next, the maximum velocity of electrons. Velocity of electrons. Velocity of electrons. Okay, V maximum. The maximum velocity of electron which is emitting from the photo plate is equals root over 2e V naught divided by m. If you know the stopping potential of that metal, then we can easily find the, and m is what? Mass of the electron, which is equals to 9.1 into 10 to the power of minus 31 kg. E is equals to charge of electron 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19. V naught is the stopping potential. This stopping potential is different for different metals. Okay, got it? So this is stopping potential and some relation between the stopping potential to kinetic energy of electron or stopping potential to maximum velocity of electron. Please make a note of it. EV naught is equals to kinetic energy of electron. EV naught nothing but half mv square, and V is equals to root over 2e V naught divided by m. Okay, please make a note of it. So let's, these are four parameters what we discussed: work function, threshold frequency, threshold wavelength, and stopping potential. Next we will go for the laws of the photoelectric effect. What are the laws? And it's also called experimental studies or experimental observations. As I told, Hertz proposed this photoelectric effect first. Then Hertz done the in presence of UV light. Then Hallwich, Leonardo. These are they've done experiments. But experimental verification. Who done experimental verification? Already I said that. Millikan. Millikan experimentally verified this photoelectric wave low frequencies. Okay, deep blue for high frequencies. So these data already we discussed in last session. Now, so Millikan equations. So this also called as Millikan equation and Einstein experimental observations. So what is the photoelectric effect experimental observation or experimental studies, and also called laws of the photoelectric effect? There is a 4 laws. So for the 4 laws, we have to discuss graphs also. We'll start with that. So laws of photoelectric effect, nothing but experimentally studies of photoelectric effect. So I'll write it as a laws of photoelectric effect, or also we can say that experimental study of photoelectric effect, experimental studies. Okay, first. So what is first law? Okay, there is a 4 laws. We can. I said, let us assume this is one photo plate, that is alkali plate, alkali metal. So because why you have taken the alkali metal like sodium, potassium, cesium? Why we are taking? So for this alkali metal shows the photoelectric effect in presence of visible light. Okay. If light of some energy, we know that what is energy? H nu. The light of energy H nu incident on it. What happens? So some few amount of energy is using to eject the electrons. Okay, this we call as work function. Few amount of energy used by metal. So this work function depends upon the metal. Okay, it's not dependent upon the instant energy or anything. So if the metal changes, W naught also changes. Different metals has a different work function. Okay, so that's so H2 is the instant energy, W naught is some work function of the metal. So electrons are ejecting from the metal surface. Okay, this is clear. Everyone knows this. So is there any time lag between the instant light to ejecting of electrons? Is it takes some amount of time? For example, if you take the switching of light, there is some milliseconds of difference, but variation. But here, first law, photoelectric first law. Here we can say that there is no time delay. There is no time delay of ejecting of electrons when the light illuminated or incident on metal surface. That means fast actions. Okay, there is no time log or time delay. Okay, of electron from the metal surface when the light falls on it. That means if the light falls, immediately electrons will eject. So there is no time delay. So that is the first point. Remember it. No delay. So make a note of it. So I am writing in short form. So because of lack of space, but make a note of it. What is the first law? There is no time delay or there is no log. Okay. So time delay of ejecting of electrons. Time delay of ejecting of electrons when the light falls on the photo plate or photo sensitive plate. Okay. Got it? So no delay of ejecting electrons from the metal surface when the light falls on it. Okay, that's the first point. Next one. Second point. So what I said, when the light incident on it, electrons will eject. How many electrons will eject? Okay, depend upon what factors. Okay, is 1 electron will eject or 2 electrons eject or 100 or 1000 or 1 lakh whatever. It's completely depends upon, that is the number of electrons emitting or ejecting from the metal surface is completely depend upon intensity of light. Intensity of incident light. So that is the number of photoelectrons, that is these electrons are called photoelectrons. The number of electrons emitting for every 1 second is depend upon intensity of the incident light. So second point, make a note of it. So the number of electrons, so I am writing like this. The number of electrons emitting for every 1 second. So this also called photocurrent. Also called photocurrent. Understand? The number of electrons emitting per second from the metal surface also called photocurrent, because these electrons will goes when it is goes through the any positive plate, so it produces the photocurrent. So the number of electrons emitting from the metal surface for every 1 second or photocurrent is depends upon only intensity of light. Intensity of light. So that's why I am writing directly proportional to intensity of light. Intensity of light. Yes. So the number of electrons emitting per second from the metal surface are also be called as photocurrent. It depends upon intensity of light. Okay, intensity of light, not on frequency and energy. It's only intensity of light. Different intensity. I will give one example. Sunlight, we know that sunlight. Morning, afternoon time. What's the difference here? Same light only, same frequency, everything, same visual we can see. But what is the difference between? Only intensity. So brightness, generally in general words we are calling as brightness, but it's not a brightness, just intensity, more intensity. Okay. So there's energy for unit area per second, that is general definition. So intensity depends. So the number of electrons per second or photocurrent is directly proportional to it. So in short form, remember it. Small I directly proportional to capital I. The easy way to remember. Small I directly proportional to capital I. What is small I? Photocurrent. Photocurrent nothing but number of electrons per second. Directly proportional to capital I. Capital I, what we are indicating here? Intensity. Capital I intensity. Okay, just remember it. Okay, so no delay. So the photoelectric current or photocurrent directly proportional to intensity of incident light. Okay, so this is second point. Okay, please make a note. We'll go for third one. So in short form, better remember like this. Intensity. It's not dependent. It's independent of frequency, independent of wavelength. It's independent of energy. Got it? Remaining casually. Okay, like this. Third one. Okay, this for one. Then we'll go for third one. What is the third observation or third one? Now, so what I said here, when the light incident on the photo plate, electrons are ejecting from the photo plate or metal plate with kinetic energy. With maximum kinetic energy. When the light incident is hnu, the electrons are ejecting with what energy? With kinetic energy. So here is the work function. Now, this kinetic energy of electron depends upon what factors? Okay, how we can change this kinetic energy? By changing of light, or by changing of metal surface, or by changing of any other factors? Okay, just
Video.
just wait now. There is technical problem.
Hinge also.
Yes. బాగా రావాలి అనుకుంటున్నాను.
Yes, sir. Corona is. I just చూస్తున్నాను. Okay.
Okay.
Starting.
So once again I will repeat this one. Third experimental observation. Okay. So as we know that when the light of energy h nu incident on the photoplate or metal plate, electrons are ejecting from the photoplate with maximum kinetic energy. Okay. Now this kinetic energy depends upon what factors? Okay. Is the kinetic energy is equal for all type of metals? Is equals to all type of lights like red color, violet, indigo, blue, so on. Is all color have the same kind project the same kinetic energy of electron? No. So because kinetic energy changes by changing of two factors. Okay. So it's a frequency, first one. So that's wavelength, frequency changes nothing but wavelength also changes, that we know. Okay. Now and short form I am writing here. Just remember it. The kinetic energy of photoelectrons. What is photoelectron? We know. Okay. The photoelectron nothing but the electrons which are ejecting from the metal surface when the light incident are etched. Okay. The kinetic energy of photoelectrons is directly proportional to frequency of incident light. If the incident light frequency increases, kinetic energy also increases. I will give the one simple example. Let us assume that. So there is one metal which has a work function is 2 electron volts. This time take one example. That's it. Okay. Electron volt is the energy that you know. Here we are measuring the energy in electron volts because small quantities. We can't measure in joules. Okay. 2 electron volt is the work function of this metal. So I am taking one light. So this light has some frequency. Okay. Just take the 50 edges. Actually, it's not one example. Nu1. I am taking the nu1. Nu1 is the frequency of one light. Okay, I am taking. So when this frequency of light incident on this metal plate, which metal plate has a 2 electron volt. That means in this energy it will use the 2 electron volts. So remaining it ejecting with some kinetic energy. Electrons are ejecting with kinetic energy. Let us assume that. So this has energy. Let us assume that 30 electron volts. Frequency is U1 and this incident light has energy 30 electron volts. So the work function is 2 electron volts. What happens? Here in this 30, 2 electron volts are energy used to eject the electrons. So what is the remaining kinetic energy? 28 electron volts. Got it? 28 electron volts. So this is one example I take. Now, is this 28 electron volts, is it any chance to increase this 28 electron volts? Is there? So without changing of metal plate, I am not changing this metal plate, but I am changing the frequency of light. Okay, for example, this red color has a 30 electron volts. VIBGR, we know that VIBGR. Okay, red color. So violet, indigo, so blue or yellow, orange, everything. So in that, violet has high frequency, red has low frequency. That we know. Okay. So which color has more energy, violet or red? So violet. Why? Because we know that E is equals to H nu. which has more frequency that has more energy. Which has more frequency that has more energy. So that's why when you compare with red and violet, I am using a red. Red color light has a energy 30 electron volts. Let us assume. Okay. So in that 2 electron volts is a work function removed, and remaining is electron energy is 28 electron volts. Okay. So that is red color. Now I am using violet. That means I am increasing the frequency. As increasing of frequency nu, so what happens? Energy of incident light also increasing. So nu2, that is second frequency, which is called violet. Initially it is red, energy is 30 electron volts. Now nu2 here violet. So energy may be, let us assume, this assumption only 50 electron volts. Increase here. Red has 30 electron volts, violet has 50 electron volts. Just I am taking it. So because by changing of red to violet, frequency increasing. As the frequency increases, energy also increases. So red has 30 electron volts and violet has a 50 electron volt. Now this 50 electron volt of energy incident of the metal plate. So I am not changing the metal plate. So how much of energy that metal will use to eject the electrons? 2. So out of this 50, if you remove the 2, remaining energy how much? 48. See that by changing of just light, that means changing of frequency, the ejecting electrons has energy also increases. Initially when you are using red 28, now it's violet 48. That is got it now. That means by changing of frequency of incident light, the kinetic energy of ejecting electrons also increases. So that is the second point. So in short form, no need to note this one. Just in short form, make a note of it. The kinetic energy of electrons, right? Make a short notes. The kinetic energy of the ejecting electrons are also called photoelectrons. Okay, is directly proportional to frequency of incident light. Got it? Just once again, the kinetic energy of photoelectron or ejected electrons in photoelectric effect, okay, is directly proportional to frequency of incident light. Frequency, okay, the energy of so by changing of frequency of incident light, energy also changes. Okay, remember that. So this is a third point in our. So the kinetic energy directly proportional to frequency. Okay. Is kinetic energy of electron is depend upon intensity? No, because as changing of intensity, so only the what you are saying here by the number of electrons ejecting from the metal surface increasing, but it not changes the kinetic energy. So that's why in case of this situation, okay, independent of intensity. So make a note of it. Kinetic energy of photoelectrons directly proportional to frequency. The kinetic energy of photoelectrons are independent of intensity. In the previous case different, here is different. So independent of intensity. This is a word. Now coming to fourth point. Fourth law. So what is fourth law states? So as we discuss threshold frequency. What is threshold frequency? The minimum frequency of the incident light to show the photoelectric effect. The minimum frequency of incident light on a photoplate to show the to eject the electrons, to show the photoelectric effect or to eject the photoelectrons. Okay, that minimum frequency required by the incident light. If the light, okay, that is threshold frequency, nu naught, threshold frequency. That means the light must have this much of frequency, equal or greater than. The incident light frequency must be equal or greater than. Okay, like this. So incident frequency I am taking as nu. It must be greater than or equals to nu naught. This is a condition, remember it. So the incident light frequency must be greater or equals to the threshold frequency. Okay, then only you will observe the photoelectric effect. Okay, if the condition is now coming to fourth point. If the incident frequency, if the light frequency of incident light, that is nu, is less than of threshold frequency, what happens? So if the frequency is less than of threshold frequency, so that means the incident energy is less, so that frequency will not provide energy which is used to eject the electrons. Okay, because so if the incident light frequency is very less than of or less than of threshold frequency, you will not observe photoelectric effect. So no photoelectric effect observed when if the incident frequency is less than of threshold frequency. Got it? No. This threshold frequency, okay, is changes with the materials. So the threshold frequency depends upon the materials. Okay, so that's why we work function we taking it as like this. W naught is equals to h into nu naught we taken. Work function is belongs to metal surface. H nu naught, h is a constant, nu naught is the threshold frequency. So that's why as changing of metal, the threshold frequency also changes. So different metals have a different threshold frequency. We'll discuss about it. So these are the 4 laws. Okay, and 4 laws and how we can represent these 4 laws in graphs. Okay, that we are going to discuss. So once again, I'm repeating this photoelectric law. What is the first law? There is no delay of ejecting of electrons from the metal surface when the light incident on the metal surface. So that means as soon as when the light incident on metal surface, electron will eject. So there is no time lag between the incident light to ejecting of electron. So that is the first one. What is second one? The number of electrons emitting or ejecting from the metal surface. Number of electrons ejecting from the metal surface for every second, n by t. Okay, so number of electrons for every second is nothing but photocurrent. The number of electrons or photocurrent is directly proportional to intensity of incident radiation. Intensity. As intensity increases, the photocurrent also increases. That's why I given in short form small I directly proportional to capital I. Please make it out. Next, third one. The kinetic energy of the photoelectrons is directly proportional to frequency. I given the example, detailed example. Just the kinetic energy of ejected electron or photoelectrons, okay, is directly proportional to frequency of incident light. If the incident light frequency increases, kinetic energy also increases. But the kinetic energy of photoelectrons not depend upon intensity. As frequency changes, then only kinetic energy changes. But as increasing of intensity, so there is no change of kinetic energy. That's why kinetic energy directly proportional to frequency and it is independent of intensity. Okay. Next, fourth one. If the light, okay, if the frequency of incident light is less than threshold frequency, so no photoelectric effect is observed. Okay, fourth point. Make a note of it. If the frequency of incident light is less than threshold frequency, okay, no photoelectric effect is observed. Okay, so these are the 4 laws of photoelectric effect. 4 laws of the photoelectric effect. So now we'll discuss some few graphs regarding it. The first graph. So this graph defines that how photocurrent depends upon intensity. How photocurrent depends upon intensity. Okay, first graph. I am taking photocurrent on y-axis, intensity on x-axis. Okay, and the graph will be like this. So what I said, I directly proportional to I, directly proportional relation. I directly proportional to I. As increasing of intensity, photocurrent also increases. Okay, that's one. Second one. And second graph is about photocurrent. So photocurrent, I am indicating as small I, that we know that. Photocurrent on y-axis and anode potential on x-axis. Photocurrent on y-axis, sorry, is okay. Okay, anode potential on x-axis. Okay, this is positive anode potential and this is origin, this is a negative anode potential. Okay, let I am taking one light which are one frequency. So one frequency, let us assume red color. So, but red color with different intensities, brightness, intensity, different brightness. Okay, I am taking one light. So, initially, so frequency, anode potential and current. So, there is no direct relation and it comes like this. Up to here, you can see, this is called saturation current. This is called saturation current. So, there is no change if the up to 1 point, okay, 0 is nothing but here, positive only. So anode current will be there, so positive as increasing of potential. So anode current remains constant because current depend upon only intensity of light, okay. So, but you are not changing the intensity, potential, stopping potential, okay, anode potential. Now by applying of negative potential to the anode current, already we discussed in case of stopping potential. So when you are increasing the negative potential to the anode plate, so this anode will act opposite to the electrons moving towards the anode, so it opposes the electrons because of negatively charged. Okay, so slowly the potential photo current becomes zero. At particular negative potential, sorry, this one. So make a note of it. So minus V naught, okay, minus V naught. So initially, when anode potential I am applying negative, okay. When applying the negative potential to the anode plate, this is y-axis represent anode plate potential. So as applying of negative potential, so at particular potential that is minus V naught, the photoelectric current became zero, and this potential we call stopping potential of that material. Okay. So stopping potential. Got it now? So that is the stopping potential minus V naught. So this is okay. Now I am not changing the metal. So that is I am not changing the cathode plate. So I am changing the intensity. So this has one intensity. If I change the one more intensity, okay, like this. Let us in this. So I will do this. So this is on I1, first intensity. Now I am increasing the intensity of light, I2. So what happens? Here intensity increasing. So as intensity increases, number of electrons emitting from the photo plate increases. Photo current increases. So that's why photo current will comes here. Now initially here I1, here small I2. Okay, photo current is increasing. But I am increasing of negative potential. Again it comes to same point because this stopping potential depends upon the material, what material, cathode plate material, what we take in is depend upon that material only. I am not changing the frequency here. The frequency remains constant. Same red color, but different intensities I am taking. So red color frequency is same. So intensity is different, frequency constant. So the same frequency, not changing of frequency. So stopping potential here not changes, same. Stopping potential depend upon the metal surface. Okay. So these are the two graphs we discussed. So what is there? So these are two graphs. Still we have two more graphs. So that we'll discuss in next session. So what we discussed, just shortly we'll go through that one. So today we discussed about the stopping potential. So how the stopping potential and how and kinetic energy related, stopping potential to kinetic energy of electrons and stopping potential to velocity of the electrons. Then after photoelectric laws. First law, so there are four photoelectric laws, nothing but experimental study. That also we discussed. Then followed by the two graphs. One is intensity versus photo current graph. Next one, this one. Okay, you can see detailed information in NCERT book. Just follow the NCERT books and follow the notes which we are sending to the WhatsApp. And so today we will send out an assignment. Please finish that assignment today itself. Okay, we will verify it immediately. So then we will continue the next session. Okay, on this topic next session. Okay, thank you.
Attendance